This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this Surveyor Legend travel trailer. The model number is 202 RBLE. So this is going to be a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. So starting off, you have a power awning with LEDs. You have a regular crank down scissor type stabilizers, stairs that fold into the trailer and fold out with adjustable legs. This is the vent for your range hood. So if you're cooking and you're venting to the outside, you want to reach up there and flip open that baffle in there so it flaps freely and you can vent to the outside. Of course, you have outside speakers, LP furnace vent, TV signal with some 120 AC. And this is for a sprayer, quick connect for a sprayer to spray whatever you need to spray. Kids, bikes, dogs, anything you need. You have a basin here with a refrigerator, okay, or utility shelf, I guess you would call it. This kind of folds out from the side. Yeah, it comes out from the side, so. Okay. Move on. Let's see what we've got here. Pass-through storage. Yes, pass-through storage. Now this is the basin that fits in that rectangle in the piece that I just slid out, and this is your coiled sprayer right here. Okay. This is your stabilizer. This one here is your stabilizer crank. Right there. The small one is for your power tongue jack. In case, let me see what type we have here, what model we have here. In case it fails, you can take the hood off. There's a rubber plug here. You can pull the plug off, and then you can actually crank it manually to get yourself out of trouble if if it stops working for whatever reason. I'd be inclined to leave the hood off of it so it breathes, to be honest with you, but that's here nor there. That's your decision. So anyway, you have a deep cycle marine battery. You have a kill switch for the battery right here. If you turned it off, I don't know, but it should be on like so. Okay. 2 LP tanks with automatic changeover regulator. They're full. Of course, the power tongue jack we talked about. The other end of your pass-through storage. This is your water heater. Okay, nice and clean. This is where you drain it right here. If you can see that. Okay, this works on LP and I believe it works on it has an electric element also. We'll check when we get inside, but I'm sure it does. There's your gas burner there. I'll show you the controls for it when we get inside. The main thing to remember about it is never run it without water in it. There's a 6-gallon tank attached to this, obviously, and this is the drain like we just talked about, but you never run it without water in it. So you always want to make sure that if you've drained it, so the water, you're not going to be camping for a while, or you just winterized it and you're de-winterizing it. Just make sure you fill the tank up before you start it. Okay. This is the second most common way to get water to the trailer. This is the fill for the fresh water tank, right? So you can fill the fresh water tank and take the water with you if you don't have city water where you're going, right? So let's say you're boondocking somewhere and you don't have city water. You can fill that tank, take the water with you, then use the onboard pump to pump the water. All the plumbing will work as though you have city water. You'll just be pumping it from the tank. Of course, if you have city water, which is usually you do, you won't have to worry about the pump or the tank. There's the drain down there for the freshwater tank. And here's the most common way to get water to the trailer right here, which is this city water hookup. So 9 times out of 10 you're just going to put your hose on there, turn it on, and you're all set. Okay, now this is a black tank flush here. So you have a flush to clean out your black tank. So we'll back up here to see the valves, which are here, it looks like. Let me see. Yeah. So on the right you have your black tank, and the left is the gray tank valve. So what they're telling you on this sticker here is never turn on the water to this flush unless your black tank valve is in the open position. So you hook up your dump hose, you run it to the sewer at the dump station, you'll hook your fresh water onto here without turning it on. Then you're going to dump the black tank, leaving the valve open. Leave the valve open, then you turn the water to the flush on, and it'll spray out the inside of your black tank, clean off the sensors so you get a good accurate reading, that sort of thing. But like I said, if you leave the valve shut, it'll create too much pressure and it could damage it, so you always want that open. Okay, this is just cable and satellite through. You have a 30 amp short cord. I believe that's the old license plate for it. I'll confirm it and take it off. Spare tire, obviously, a fold down rack. You have a housing for a Furrion backup camera kit. If you're interested in getting one of those, it's the Furrion kit, and it has to fit that housing. We sell them here, you can get them elsewhere, but just get the kit that fits that housing, okay? You have a ladder, which makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states 90 days. You should take a look at the roof every 90 days, so make sure you do that. Make sure there's no damage to it by low branches or anything like that. Okay? Alrighty. So when we come in the door, the first thing we see is the power converter. Alright, so this is the power converter. Okay. I'm going to look at my camera here. I got to wear something on the screen that I don't normally have. What is it telling me? Okay. I think we're all right. I sure hope so. I'm sorry. Sorry about the camera work. I can't see this monitor very well, and but the red light is on. So okay, this is the power converter. Converts AC to DC power. On this side you have regular 120 AC circuit breakers like you'd see at home, and then they're labeled. Then over here you got 12 volt DC fuses, and they're labeled. So when you're plugged into shore power, this is like the 110 AC distribution center here, and then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over on this side, which is a 12 volt DC service center panel, and then as long as you're plugged into shore power, it's going to sense your battery up on the tongue and how much energy it needs, and it'll send as many amps necessary to keep your battery charged. So of course when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle will charge the battery. When you're plugged in, this power converter does. So keep in mind, that is the AC to DC converter, plus it'll charge your battery. Alrighty. You may know all of this already, but I kind of have to assume you don't, just so I don't miss out on anybody. So this is a 12 volt DC refrigerator, on and off. You can temperature up and down, and you have different modes, like a night mode uses less energy, that sort of thing. That's 12 volt DC. Your bathroom, you see you have your water panel here. Your gas water heater, you light it there. To turn your water heater on electric, you do it there. Your water pump is turned on here. Remember, the water pump is used to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. And then you have your buttons. You push your buttons to check your levels there, so you can check all your tank levels and your battery level. The shower is self-explanatory. The toilet works like all RV toilets. It sits right over a black tank. There's the flush pedal. When you show up at the campground, your black tank should already be dumped, because you dumped it when you left the last campsite. So you just throw a dose of chemical in the bowl, and you're going to step on the pedal and hold it down to put at least a gallon of water in there. More is better. Don't use less than a gallon, but you can use more. So at least a gallon of water and a dose of chemical, and you're all set till the next time you flush it. So if you don't do that, it's considered using it dry, and it'll just get clogged up. It'll just be a mess. So make sure you use the chemical and water. Now this is your solar controller. Okay. First of all, he's got it on the wrong battery type to start things off. I'll change that. Okay, it's on wet battery. Okay. So what this is telling us, let me see if I can get the camera in a position to where you can see the screen there. That looks pretty good. Let me get a hold of it here. Okay. So 13.2 volts DC in the system. The only button you have to worry about is the top right one, where my finger's at. I push it again, and we're gaining 2.0 amps and storing it in the battery. So that's your amp gain and storage in the battery. Push it again, and that's amp hours. That's how much storage you have, okay? And then back to 13.2 volts. So you get 3 screens, and it tells you everything you need to know. Your voltage, 12 volt DC voltage, right? Your amp gain. Right now it's converting 2.0 amps from the sunlight and storing it in your battery. It'll change depending on the time of day, the weather conditions, the position of the sun is in relationship to your solar panel. All that stuff matters. You can go up past 5, 6 on up. If it flashes and says FUL, it's not insulting you. It's telling you that the battery's full and there's no more room for storage, so it's shut the panel down. So nothing will respond. But as soon as the amperage drops in the battery, these 3 screens will come right back, right? And you can see this is almost charged. It's unplugged right now and it's been sitting here, but when you pick it up it'll be plugged in for a while, so it'll be charged up. So, okay, and of course your lights are up here, your awning switch, slide room switch. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not pointing at it. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Awning switch, slide room, and your lights, that sort of thing. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, make sure you roll it in. Okay, so you have your range. This is a very clean trailer. The floor is nice and solid. It's actually in good shape. I don't just say that. If I don't think it is, I don't say nothing. So, but it's in good shape. So this clockwise to spark. Turn it on and spark it and it lights. Okay. The oven is a little different. There's a pilot light all the way to the back, and you'll spark it. And to light it, you go to the picture of the pilot light. You depress this and keep it depressed while you're lighting it. Spark it till it lights down here. Once it lights, you hold it for another 15 to 20 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, whatever it takes to heat up the thermocouple. Then you're going to go to operating temperature, and it'll cycle like an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, of course, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven, and then of course you have your light here too. Okay. All right. Always travel with this in the down position so it doesn't break, but don't put it down where the burners are super hot. This is the range hood. I talked about making sure the baffle's open on the outside if you're venting while cooking. So there you have the fan, light, light, microwave, works like any other microwave. Some remotes, TV remote, and a radio or stereo remote, I guess you could call it. This has AM/FM radio. It has Bluetooth. It has a USB drive so you can play MP3s. It has a 2-speaker zone. One is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer, and an HDMI in. Let's say you wanted to go into the system with a portable Blu-ray player or something. Well, you can do that right there. Okay. The TV has a swing-out bracket, obviously. It locks into place. It's a good one. It's a 12-volt TV, but with an adapter you can run it on regular power. And this looks to be your, I believe that's for your antenna, to turn your antenna on and off. Yes, it's for your digital antenna. Okay. If you're not getting a good signal, turn it on, obviously. So that pretty much covers it. You have some storage under the bed. You can remove these poles here and drop the table down onto these 4 cleats here and turn it into a bed. Your thermostat works like any thermostat does. You just push the button to light it up, and then you keep poking it until you get to the mode you want. This is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector right here. It should always be glowing green. If it's not, get it serviced. It also has a test button on it, so you can audibly test it. If it's not working, it's not expensive. It's a very important device, so get it taken care of, okay? And you have your escape window, and you show any kids or anybody who needs to know how to work this. You just push it through, obviously, grab a hold of the screen and yank it out, and you can escape in an emergency, okay? Okay, I think that pretty much covers it. Let me look around here. Yes, yes, okay. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days? That's important to keep after things. You can't see what's happening up there unless you look, so you have to look. Right now there's no antifreeze in the system. It's been replaced with fresh water, so you're all set when it comes to your water till you winterize it, okay? Thank you.